Hi everyone, this is Lepa speaking, your Sophrology practitioner, and I want to welcome you to my first live discovery session on Facebook. We are going to talk about the technique that I teach and I practice almost every day, which is very useful and efficient in many ways, and it is called Sophrology. It's a relaxation technique that helps on many levels. But firstly and mostly, it helps you to relax, to anchor and ground yourself in the present moment. Then it helps you to better manage your stress, your emotions, your anxieties, depression or bipolarity if you have, or other issues. I would just like to, I hope you can hear me, so if there is anyone, I see there is one person at the moment, if you can just say yes if you can hear me, and if you can hear me well, I would be very grateful, so I'm sure you can hear me. And I'm continuing so with the presentation of the Sophrology technique. So I said that it helps you to relax, better manage your stress, your emotions, anxiety, depression, bipolarity, or any other issues, insomnia. If you have gone through burnout, it helps you to better manage that condition and also prevent you from going through it again, or for the first time if you haven't been through that condition yet. So Sophrology is a relaxation technique. Today we are going to do a discovery session, which will consist of a little stretching to prepare the body and the mind for the session, and then we are going to do what we called an introspection, a dynamic introspection. It's kind of auto massage. I am going to show you first the technique, the exercises that we are going to do, and then we are going to do them together. The important is that you are wearing comfortable clothes. You don't wear shoes, so you're barefoot, or you can wear socks, because we will massage also the feet, so it's important not to be, if you can, not to wear shoes. Please write yes if you can hear me. I would be very grateful just to let me know that you can hear me well, so I'm sure everything is going well regarding the technical things. So I am going to show you. You can watch or you can repeat the movements that I'm going to do. And then we are going to do the session. The session is done in an armchair, or in a seated position, and also standing. But we start with the sitting position, in which your feet can be well on the ground. So touching the ground, or the sole of your feet is on the ground. The back is straight, and the session is done with the eyes, with closed eyes. I hope that's not a problem for you. Then, if not, try, and then you'll see how it goes. But it's important to have the eyes closed. Then at the end of the session, what we recommend is to have a notebook so that you can write down what we have been doing, what you have felt during the session, the sensations, etc. And if and when you do a regular practice of Sophrology, so you can see your progress each time you were writing what you were doing, but it can also help you to establish your practice at home. which is very important in sophrology. So we encourage everyone to practice and become autonomous in their practice, and practice alone at home. So, and then at the end of the session, we normally and usually share what we want to share, what we have felt during the session, how we felt, etc. So here we don't have the possibility to do that. I mean, in live. So you can write your comments if you want at the end of the session. I haven't seen anyone saying yes, they can hear me, or no, they cannot hear me. So I suppose you can hear me. I am just checking things out here to see if everything is yes. Normally it should be okay. So if you have questions, then please write your questions in the comments. If you have, how would I say, if you're watching afterwards, you can also write your questions in the comments below. I will be checking and answering all those questions. And so let's start with the session then, because I don't see any questions and I don't see anybody saying yes, they can hear me, or no, they cannot hear me. So what we will do is we'll do a session that I usually do for a first session. So we will stand, and we are going to do some stretching. So first I'm going to stretch like this, and then on the sides, then with both hands 3 times, then one hand, same movement. Now you can follow what I'm showing here, or if you have another way of stretching, you can do that as well. Then I'm going to stretch a little bit behind. I'm going to stretch in front. You cannot probably see me, but in front, going downwards, and then stretching your legs. You can also bend them a little bit. So this is really to prepare the body so that it can be more receptive for the session. And we are also preparing our mind by breathing through the nose. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. We are going to sit down again with the straight back and the feet on the ground. And we are going to prepare also mentally for the session. So as I said, we are going to take deep breath in through the nose, and we are going to breathe out through the mouth. We're going to do this 3 times. Let the energy sink in into our bodies. We are going to let go of anything that is not useful during this session, which means, memories of the day, what happened during the day, or anything that might disturb us during the session. So we are letting it go. If it can help, you can imagine some clouds, and with the out breath, blow them away. Okay. And then we are going to do the dynamic introspection. As I said, it's kind of auto massage, and we are going to start with the hands. We're going to activate our hands like this. The inside, the outside of our hands. The fingers and between the space between the fingers as well. You can also massage each finger of each hand if you feel you need that. Okay. And then we're going to make a pause and become aware of the sensations in our hands after we have activated them. What kind of sensations are we feeling? It might be tingling or another sensation, so I'm not going to lead you on. I'm going to let you feel and see for yourself what's coming up. Okay, then we are going to continue with the ears. So we are going to massage our ears from the inside and the outside by taking the time we need to do this. And then we are going to make another pause and become aware of what's going on, what kind of sensations are we having in our ears after the activation. Then we are going to continue with our scalp, our head, and we are going to either massage, like when we are doing, shampoo, when we are washing our our hair, or we can tap like this, going through the whole head, or we can do it with the hands on our ears like this. Okay, another pose and becoming aware of the sensations, the liveliness of this part, awakening after the activation. And then we are going to continue with our face, starting with our forehead. And we will either massage or tap. And then we are going to do our brows, our temples, our eyes, around the eyes. And the rest of our face, the nose also, becoming aware of the form of it, the mouth, around the mouth, the jaws. And really what is important is that we do the movements that are really doing us good. Another pose, awareness of the sensations before we continue with our neck, the front of it, behind, and the shoulders. First one and then the other one. pause. And then we are going to activate our arms by either massaging them or tapping them, or, doing this movement or maybe another movement. The important is that it feels good. So we are always following the needs of our body at the moment when we are doing the activation. Always follow them. So listen to your body, whatever your body needs, whatever movement is best for your body, you just follow that. Another pose, once we have activated our arms, becoming aware of whatever is waking up a sensation in our arms. And then we are going to continue with our legs. Now you cannot really see me, but I am massaging, or again, either massaging or tapping my legs. I'm starting with my thighs, and then I'm going through my knees, my calves, my ankle. So I'm massaging and I'm activating first one of my legs until the feet. It's very important also to activate and massage your feet as well, the whole of it. And then we're going to do the same with the other leg, starting with the thighs, with the thigh. I'm going to the knee, the calf, ankle, and the feet. Again, doing the movement that is most suitable at the moment. Okay. Then we're going to do another pose and become aware of the sensations running through or going through or activating throughout our legs. Are they pleasant? What kind of sensations are we feeling? And mostly I'm going to encourage you to take note of the pleasant sensations and keep them with you. Okay, so next we are going to activate the sternum. How are we going to do that? We are going to do some circular movements like this with our hands, or we are going to do some tapping. And there is a third manner, a third way to activate the sternum, and that is to join our hands in front of us in a prayer position. We are going to take a breath in through the nose, and while we are breathing out, we are going to force our hands against each other and feel the contraction of the muscles in the sternum area, right? And we're going to do this 3 times. So second time, breath in, breath. And at the out breath, we are pushing our hands against each other and feeling the contraction of the sternum muscles. And third time, breathe in, breathe out, and push the hands against each other. And we are going to do a pose. We can either do 1 or combine 2 or the three of the ways to activate the sternum. Pose and becoming aware of the sensations in the sternum or in another part of our body that we have been that has been activated. And then we are going to move towards the edge of our chair, if we are sitting in a chair or whatever you're sitting on, just move on the edge. We will place the, the hands on our knees, and we are going to turn our hands, toward inward, okay, like this on the knees. As we take an in-breath, so at the out-breath, we are going to push our hands against our knees, really anchor our feet on the ground, and we are going to contract the muscles of the perineum and the lower abdomen, okay? And then we're going to do this 2 more times at our pace. So in breath and the out breath, we are pushing the hands against our knees and contracting the muscles of the lower abdomen and the perineum. And the 3rd time at our own pace. And then we are going to do another pause and become aware of what's going on in our body after the activation of this part, which is very helpful for anchoring our basin, you call it, I think, in English. So the lower part of our body. Then we are going to stand up again. Now I'm going to turn a little bit so that you see exactly what I'm doing. So we are going to activate this part of the body like this. And then we are going to activate the back by going as far as we can, respecting our limits without any force and any judgment. So no judgments and no force, respecting each time the limits of our body. Pause. Awareness of what's awakening in those parts of our bodies that we have just activated. And then we are going to end today's session by activating our abdomen, and we are going to do that by a clockwise movement like this. So you can use either one hand, either one and the other, or both at the same time. I usually do with both hands at the same time, so it's clockwise and counterclockwise afterwards to activate the abdomen and stomach area. And we are going to do another pause and ask ourselves, what are we feeling as sensation? What's waking up inside of our body? Are there any changes since the beginning of the session in our bodies? What are those changes? Take some notes, mental notes on the changes, and concentrate on the positive ones, okay? Positive sensations, positive changes, positive feelings, if there are some feelings. We are not at, at this point, we are talking about sensations. We're still not talking about feelings, but whatever comes up, just welcome it. And, try to accept it as it comes. We can sit down and we can do a small resume of our session, a mental resume of our session, of whatever was nice, good, alive, what made us alive, what made us good, what kind of good sensations did we feel during the sessions. Take note of all those. And then I'm going to invite you to open the eyes and start and come out of the session. Okay, so this was the explanation. Now, if there are no questions, and I don't see any at the moment, I'm going to invite you to do the session. So we are going to stand up, find a comfortable standing position. We are going to close our eyes if it's okay for us to do so. Take a few deep breaths. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. And we are going to try to concentrate on our session as best we can. Sorry about the airplane noise. I forgot to close the window, so you might hear them in the background. And we are going to let go of anything that might disturb us during the session, that is not useful for us during this session, by imagining maybe some clouds and blowing them away. If that's helpful, if not, you can use whatever is helpful for you. And then we are going to prepare our body by doing some stretching. We are going to stretch upward and then toward the sides of our body. We're going to do a few movements, 3 movements with our hands, as I showed you at the beginning of the session, when I was showing the session, and then with one arm and the other one. Stretch behind, and then in front. On the sides, we're going to stretch our legs and then bend them a little bit if that's helpful. The other one as well. And bend it. Okay. And then we're going to allow this energy that is waking up in our body spread throughout the body. Before we find our seat or our chair, keeping the eyes closed, the back is straight and the feet are well on the ground. Take a few deep breaths and breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. By taking our time, just relax. And then we are going to activate our hands by doing a small massage, the palms, and then the outside, like when we're washing our hands, you know. And having this sensation, this first regard, as if though our hands are meeting, are touching themselves for the first time today. Then we're going to activate our fingers and the space between them as well. We're taking our time No rush, no hurry. To do good to our body. Take care of our body. Get in touch with our body. And then we are going to mark our first pose. And we're going to become aware of the sensations waking up in our hands after this massage. What sensation are we having in our hands right now? And concentrate rather on the good ones, the positive ones. Next, we're going to activate our ears by massaging them, the inside and the outside. Again, by taking the time we need to do this. No rushing, no forcing, no judgment whatsoever. And as we feel ready, we can mark another pose and become aware of the sensations in our ears. If you feel like yawning, do not restrain yourself. It's a very common thing during our sophrology session. Next, we are going to activate our scalp, our head, by massaging or tapping on it with or without the hands on the ears. Okay, so either massaging or tapping without or with the hands on our ears. Whatever feels good for us at this moment. And again, we're taking our time to take care of ourselves, of our body. This is a time that we offer to ourselves. And we enjoy it fully. And then we're going to mark another pose. And just notice what sensations are waking up in our hand, our scalp that we have just activated. And keep the positive ones. And then when we are good, we can continue by activating our face, starting with the forehead, massage or tapping or another movement that feels good. And then slowly going through the rest of the face. Slowly massaging. We can also spend more time on those places that are most in need of a massage. And when we're done, we can take another pause. And take note of the sensations waking up in this part of our body that we have just activated. As I said, if you feel a need for yawning, do not restrain yourself. It's the indication that your body is relaxing. Then we are going to continue with the neck, the front, the back, and the shoulders, one and then the other. And pause again. And you feel already the relaxation taking place slowly in your body since the beginning of the session. And then we are going to activate our arms, again by either massaging or tapping or using whatever movement our body would need at this precise moment. And it can be slow or rapid, a vigorous one or gentle one. Just follow whatever your body requires of you at this moment. And then take note again of the sensations and whatever is waking up in our arms at this moment. All right. Next, we are going to activate our legs, starting with one or both of them at the same time by either massaging or tapping or using another movement that feels good at this moment, starting with the thighs and then going to the knees, the calves, ankle, and activating the feet, which is very important as well, to activate the feet. Next one, we just did one. Again, follow the needs of your body and apply the movement that feels best at this moment. And going through the feet, activating the feet as well. And then we're going to take another pause. Make another pose. And just notice whatever is waking up in this part of our body as a sensation. Welcome it. And try to keep the positive ones. Those you can lean on in the moments, the hours, and the days after this session. Next, we are going to activate our sternum, our chest area, either by doing circular movements or tapping, or combining the two of them, or the third one, joining our hands in front of us in a prayer's position, taking a breath in, and on the out breath, pushing the hands against each other and feeling the contraction of the muscles of the sternum. We're going to do this 2 more times at our own pace. Breathing in, breathing out, and pushing the hands against each other. And third one. Another pause to take note of whatever is waking up within us after the activation of the sternum area. On the chest area. Then we are going to move forward to the edge of our chair by placing our hands on our knees turned inward. We are going to take a breath in, and on the out breath we are going to push our hands against our knees, ground our feet, and we're going to contract the muscles of the lower abdomen and the perineum on the out breath. Second one, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, pushing the hands against the knees and constricting the muscles of the lower abdomen and the perineum. And the third time, breathing in, breathing out. Going backwards on the chair to take note of what's waking up within our body. Next, we are going to stand up and we are going to activate the lower back area and then the upper back by going to wherever we can, just respecting our limits, no force, no judgment. Marking a pause, becoming aware of the sensations throughout this part of the body. And welcoming whatever presents itself to us as a sensation. And just keep the positive, the good ones, the beneficial ones. And then we're going to activate the abdomen with a clockwise movement with one or both hands, and then a counterclockwise movement. And we're going to mark a final pause, break. How do we feel at this moment? Are there any changes since the beginning of the session throughout our body? Mark, note those changes. Are they positive, good ones? What is exactly waking up in our body at the end of the session? We can find our chair and place ourselves again there. Take a few deep breaths. Relax. Feel the relaxation throughout the body. And just make a small positive resume of whatever came up during this session. What kind of sensations? What did us good and to our body throughout this session? And what are we willing to keep with us, for us, after this session as a sensation? As we go through this mental check throughout our body, we're taking note of whatever was good, positive, beneficial for us during this session. And then we can do some stretching before we open our eyes and leave the session. And if there is anyone there, please share with me what you have felt. If you wish, you can do that now or later if you're watching this video later on. Just leave me some comments. And I hope you liked and you enjoyed this first sophrology session, and that it has incited you to, to maybe learn more and, further improve the practice. And you can do so by joining me actually at the beginning of October, where I offer between 6 and 10 group sessions on Zoom. If you wish to do that, please send me an email. Everything, I will put my links in the comments below after I end this video. And so you can send me an email to register. Just leave me your name and the city and the country you are joining in, and for which session, because I will be offering several sessions for different time zones and in different languages as well. So there will be probably 2 English sessions throughout the week, one for the European, USA and Canada, and the second one for Europe again, because all of them are actually good for Europe, because I'm in Europe, Australia, and Asia. So there will be a different day probably and a different time, and then those will be in English. Then I will do one in French and one in Macedonian and maybe one in Serbo-Croatian, or I will see depending on the interest. So I will leave you all the details below, so how you can register, and for the payments, the sessions will be, the price will be €8 or 10 United States dollars per session, and you can choose to have 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 sessions as you wish, starting beginning of October until I think it will be more or less 20th of December. Okay, so just leave your comments below if you like this session, if you're willing to continue working with me and exploring more this beautiful technique that is so helpful on many levels. It has helped, and it is helping me a lot still. First of all, as I said, to relax, feel calm, concentrate better, better manage my stress, better manage my emotions, etc. So yes, in the first 10 sessions that we are going to do, we are going to work on the body. So we're not going to work with the emotions. That's the first part. We're just concentrating on the body, anchoring ourselves in the present moment, and relaxing, and learning to manage our stress. And then after 10 or between 10 and 20 sessions, we can only go exploring the emotions and projecting ourselves into the future. Only after we have well anchored and grounded ourselves in the present moment. Those are another 10 to 20 sessions, depending on the group and the individuals and whatever problems they are coming with. And then we can do the third level, which is working on the intuition and going back to the past, which is helping us to de-dramatize our past and see it more clearly as it was. So not, embellishing it or dramatizing it. It really helps us to take distance with those, events that we have felt as negative events in our lives, maybe in the past. And then we can explore the fourth one, which actually helps to find a sense of those three. The present, the future, and the past. And then there is the fifth level, which is the transcendental level, which actually allow us to overcome ourselves. Okay, so really achieve whatever we want to achieve in life, and even overcome ourselves, So those are the 5 levels in Sophrology that I'm offering to explore with you if you wish to, starting with the first one, the first 10 to 20 sessions maybe. We'll see how the group progresses and what are the needs of the group with the corporal, so the body, the anchoring in the present moment, and then exploring the emotions, etc. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being there. Thank you for watching if you're watching later on. Thank you for leaving any comments. And thank you for eventually registering for the group session starting in October. It's not obligatory, so this was a free session, and if you wish to, we can continue working together. I do hope so. Thank you. Namaste. Bye.